or ghost.
What's going on, everyone? And welcome back to Treebeard's Toy Box. And today, we're going to be taking a look at some brand new Ghostbusters action figures. But before we get started here, I just want to make sure that everyone out there is subscribed to my channel, and make sure you guys are hitting that like button, and leave me a comment, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. So alright, let's get going here. So I figured I'd stop by Target this morning on the way to work. I've been hoping to see the rest of the Marvel Legends Infinity Saga figures. Nothing. And I've really been hoping to find Wrecker out there from the Black series. Nothing. In fact, like Hasbro, if you're listening, which you're probably not, you'd think that Star Wars had died. Like, Marvel Legends is usually a little better, but it's been pretty bad lately. But Target and Walmart alike, both the Star Wars and Marvel sections have just been very dismal, just very dried up, especially Star Wars, and that's been for the last few months. It's really been sad. So I didn't expect to see anything, and I definitely did not expect to see these guys hanging on the pegs. Like, I'm pretty used to seeing some of these Ghostbusters figures, like from the first wave they put out, because they, unfortunately, I think because the timing in this new movie not coming out yet, there's been a lot of peg warming. So I thought that they were the old wave, and then once I got a little closer, I got pretty excited. Because I was not expecting to see these guys. I wasn't expecting for these to be out for like another month or so. And the way it's been going with the other figures, like, what are these doing on the pegs? But they had the whole wave except for Rey. But unfortunately, there's just been so much coming out lately. I couldn't afford to get them all right now. So I'm gonna wait on the other three. But I figured I'd check these guys out. I had to go with Venkman because I'm a huge Bill Murray fan. And then I wanted to try out a couple of the kids. I got Trevor because he's played by that Finn guy. I forget his last name. But he's from Stranger Things. He's been in a few awesome things. He is also in, I believe, It. Unless I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure he's in It. I love him in Stranger Things, and I get bored with the reused sculpts sometimes, and I'm pretty sure that Venkman and the other guys from the old movie are going to be reused sculpts from their other figures that just came out last year. So I wanted to try something new, and actually both of these kids, it looks like completely different sculpts for each one, and they both looks like they come with some pretty awesome accessories, especially Podcast here. He looks to come with some pretty awesome stuff. So anyways, that's enough of me rambling. What are we, almost 4 minutes in here, and I won't shut up. But let's go ahead and go in the order they are in the back, and we're going to start and take a look at Trevor first. So here we have Trevor. And you can look here, we see the Ghostbusters, the same box as we had last time. It's made to look like kind of like their suit there. You can get his name on the name tag there, and the emblem there. It's actually a pretty cool design. You get the figure in the window there. And then we can see a little bit through the window there. And then here we have the other figures in the line for the Sentinel Terror Dog Build-A-Ghost. And then we also have a little bio here. It says, Trevor. Average teenage boy Trevor loves fast cars, reckless driving, cool adventures, and like stuff. So, it's kind of a weak bio if you ask me. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty weak. But anyways, here we have Trevor, And then we've got the other figures in the wave. We've got Podcast, Lucky, Peter, Ray, and Winston. And the only one they did not have today was Ray for some reason. So, and I'm not sure how these are being packed, like how many per case and such. But anyways, and then on this side we get the same kind of images we got with the characters from the new movie instead of the guys from the old one, from the original 4. But yeah, and then we have another look at Trevor in the package, and now let's go ahead and open him up and check him out. And here we have Trevor out of the packaging, played by Finn Wolfhard. And he's a decent looking figure. The likeness is okay. It's definitely not perfect. I was kind of expecting a little more, and I think it's the sculpt that's a little off. Not sure. He looks all right. I like his the color of his suit and everything. It's a little darker than the older ones. I dig that. Already, I gotta say, there's something I really don't like. I hate to sound so negative, but this dude has zero. Like, it's got to be really seized up if I'm wrong, but we're talking 0 ankle articulation. Yeah, one of the first things I noticed, and it's definitely a bummer. I'm not sure what's up with that. So in these also appear to be the smaller scale. So they're a little smaller than your average 6-inch figure. He's going to be smaller because he's a kid. But like, you know, Bill Murray's character is going to be a little shorter than your normal 6-inch like Black Series or Marvel Legends. So that was definitely an issue with the first wave, and I can tell it's going to be an issue with this wave. But they'll at least go along with each other. And one thing too, good. I guess we'll just start talking about the accessories here real quick. This part that he comes with for the Build-A-Ghost or whatever, like, I don't know what they're doing, but this is awful for articulation. This is one of his arms. He has a wrist swivel and a shoulder hinge. I kid you not. Like, look at that. Nothing else happening. So I guess we'll see what happens when we get him built. But I just thought I'd throw that out there. Not a huge fan of that. We get this little paper map that is, I think, a first that I've seen is an actual piece of paper for an accessory. It looks cool. But I'm surprised it's just paper. It's even got like the little serial number down there. Yeah, so be careful with that. It's cool, it looks cool, and it feels like a real map. That's cool. And then we get these cute little Stay Puft Marshmallow dudes. There's no paint detail on these, it's just white plastic. But they are really cute. And these guys are just going to go on this last accessory here. And they don't seem to really clip on, they just kind of rest on, and it took me a second to figure out. But yeah, they just rest on the back of his, there we go, pack there. And if you look close, once you get it on there, you can see the one is like, he's climbing up the back of the backpack. So that's cute. So the whole string of them is like climbing up the back of his pack. I actually think the movie looks really cool. The last trailer they put out looked awesome. I hope it does well. The whole movie industry is in for a big change. We're about, I think, all these releases that are supposed to come out at the end of the year. We're really about to see how everything is going to be affected here, and I think the future of the industry, and are we going to be streaming everything? Like, are theaters going to survive? I think we're definitely going to see some more signs, you know, of all that stuff coming in the next few months. Like, we'll just see with all these releases. We'll see what happens. But anyways, yeah, he's got some cool accessories. We'll go ahead and get to his articulation here. He's just got the ball peg for the top of the neck there, nothing at the bottom. And he's got a shoulder hinge there. Goes all the way around. And we get 0, bicep swivel, nothing there. We get single jointed elbows. And we get a hinge up and down and a swivel for the wrist. And the same for the other one, or not? Yes, hinge up and down and a swivel for the other wrist. And then we also get this nice waist articulation there. And then we get our hips there. And they're not going to go back at all because of the pants and the butt there. We do get thigh rotation here. And we get double jointed knees. And it's going to be a little hindered because of the design of the pants there. It's kind of boxy. And then we don't even get like a calf swivel. And then, yeah, nothing for the ankles. Very disappointed in that. Like, I just don't understand how, like, okay. So I'm curious to see if the other kid has ankle articulation, but nothing here. Kind of a bummer. But yeah, let's go ahead and suit him up here real quick. This pack looks pretty similar to the ones we've got before. And I think that it is. Second here. There we go. The peg for the back. Just peg goes nicely in there, and then we just take the strap and put it back on here. Just like that. And there we go. There is Trevor. And let's see here. These little guys up here. Looking pretty cool. Yep. It's that weight of the backpack there, you gotta watch that. And these just go in one of these feet. Just straps right on there, and the rest up there at the top. Just like that. So yeah, he's decent. I'm happy to have him. It was awesome to see him hanging on the shelf, or on the pegs, I mean. I'm excited to see this movie. I'll probably like the figure more after the movie. We'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to podcast here. And here is Podcast out of the packaging. And I went ahead, since we're taking a look at 3 figures here, I wanted to move things along a little bit. And I decided I didn't think we needed to look at each box individually. So I will read his bio real quick for you, though. It says Podcast. Sure, he calls himself Podcast. Sure, he has a podcast. But don't box him in. He also likes gadgets and battling with mini pups. And he comes with a mini pup. He's got some wrapped around him. Those are a couple accessories. I went ahead and put them on him. And then he also comes with this cute little guy. And this is actually one of the reasons I picked this figure to get, because I could only get a couple of them today. But this guy had the coolest accessories, I think. This are individual pieces. And this little skull piece, well, you're looking at my hand there, that's all that is. This little piece here is a separate piece, and I guess we'll have to wait and see the movie to see what that is. But it looks really cool, and that just goes on his belt there. His belt's a separate piece. Yeah, this guy's got some cool things happening, so I'm hoping I like him a lot in the movie. Just because I think the figure is really cool. And his accessory is really cool too. Now he comes with this as well. But you know, I heated it up a little bit with a hairdryer and I still couldn't get him on it. Or get it on him without feeling like I was going to break it. So I just left it off of him. I'm sure if you heated it up enough, you'd probably be able to stretch it on him. But it feels a little too tight, so that kind of stinks. And then he also comes with this really cool and very detailed little remote control. Let's give him some nice details on the front there. And there's even a little bit of paint on the back, so not a whole lot, but a little. But yeah. Pretty cool. And he does not come with a pack, but I think he makes up for it with other accessories here. And this little piece just fastens into the back there and just wraps around him. And then this little piece here, it just wraps around his arm. You just slide it on. But we get some nice, we got the Ghostbusters logo there. And he's got some nice little sneakers going on there. Separate sculpt, like it's a different sculpt. He's a little shorter than the other character, than Trevor. So we've got two different sculpts going on, which is nice. The face looks really good. I'm not, whoops. I'll show you that. Whoops. That's a problem, and we're going to get to why that's happening here in just a minute. Here is this. I'll try to show you. Really tiny, but it's really cool. And it's just got this little peg that goes into his belt. And we'll leave it off because we're about to get to articulation, and I'm sure I'll knock it off during that. So I think the likeness looks pretty good from the trailer that I've seen. I am not familiar with the actor at all. So we'll just have to see how he is in the movie. Yeah, some nice wrinkled details on the suit. With all your pockets and zippers and everything. Everything looks pretty good. And yeah, well, we got lucky. He stood up. So let's go ahead. I think we showed all his accessories. Let's get to articulation, and we'll find out why he just fell over a couple minutes ago. So we get just a ball peg at the top of the neck, nothing at the bottom of the neck there. And we are going to get our hinge and swivel for the shoulders there. No bicep swivel. And we are only getting single jointed elbows here. And then he has a hinge for his wrists up and down, but don't even try to move it. It's completely useless. His wrist is so far down in there. I had to heat it up and attempt to pull it out to make sure whether or not there was actually a joint in there or a hinge, because I wanted to know if I was getting it right for the review. And yeah, it's in there, but they don't move at all. They just rotate. So that is pretty disappointing. And then we get the same waist articulation as we did with Trevor. And this is a floating, but it's actually, I think, is it glued in the back? Yeah, it was just stuck. So yeah, it's just a floaty piece. And then we get our hips there, and we're not going to go any further back because of the butt there. And then we get our thigh cut and our double jointed knees, and he actually can kick his own butt, surprisingly. And down here to the ankles. And once again, unless there is some cruel trick happening here, we have zero, completely zero, nothing for ankle articulation. Now, what the heck? That is really frustrating. I am really not sure why they made that call. The sculpts could have been done in a way to have it. It's not. I mean, look at the age of action figures we're living in now. Like, to not have. I mean, this is Hasbro, I thought. So that's. I'm pretty disappointed with that. With both of this podcast figure and Trevor not having ankle articulation, like zero, and then not even a calf swivel or a calf rotation to make up for the lack of it. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Oh, but anyways, sad. Here, we'll pop this back on here. There. Alright. Let's see here. And we're going to skip on this because I don't want anything happening with those straps. Let's see, I bet we can get him on his remote here. Maybe. At least with one hand. I bet if I work with it a little bit, I can get it in both hands. But there you go. And his little Stay Puft dude doesn't stand really at all. I can't get him to. I saw him standing in the promo images, but I can't get him to stand. So I'm just gonna rest him by his leg like that. But he's cute. It's cool to have him. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for podcast here. So let's go ahead and move on to the last figure, to Venkman. And last but certainly not least, we have Professor Peter Venkman. And yeah, Old Man Venkman here. Old Man Murray. It is, yeah, I'm not going to read the bio because it pretty much just says what I just said. He's Professor Peter Venkman. I gotta say, people, this release so far, and this is just 3 of the figures, this might be one of the laziest Hasbro releases that I've ever seen. I'm really upset. Like, I forgot to mention before we go any further here, this is the Build-A-Ghost piece that came with podcast, and there is zero articulation on this. It's like a Build-A-Statue is what we're seeing here. This doesn't even move. It is so light. Oh, it's so cheap. I'm very disappointed. Yeah, so moving on here, we are looking at the same exact sculpt that we had with his original figure, except for the fact that the top actually is swapped with the top of stands. So here we've got a flipped up collar, and here we don't. Well, that's the same case here. These were all reused when they released the first batch, and his is not flipped up. So they just swapped them out that time. That's what they did there. Other than that, he is the same. He is a slightly different color here. He's got a slightly different wash. He has a new head sculpt, and we're getting Old Man Murray here, which is cool. But everything else looks to be the same. And that's okay. That was to be expected, I guess. So we'll go ahead and set him aside. And here he is. I'm trying to make sure he doesn't fall. At least he does have our ankle articulation, but he's still having trouble. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to talk about. The paint I like a little better than the original release. It's a little crisper on this yellow hose here. The belt looks a little nicer. I just prefer this wash, I guess, with the outfit. Shoulder pads look good. The Ghostbusters logo looks good there. Name tag looks good. Yeah, all the paint details and everything look alright. Same exact body. Let's look a little closer at this face. It's a little cartoonish in my opinion. That's a little disappointing. I thought well, I guess the old one was a little cartoonish as well. I don't know. I was hoping to be able to put this old head on like a suited body or something. I may try. I popped it off already once, but the peg stuck in the head, and that's going to be an issue getting it on another body. I mean, not too big an issue, but it's going to take more time than I wanted to spend on it right now for the review. So, but yeah, there, he looks all right. He's got some decent accessories here. It's another weird thing. We're getting more paper. Getting a lot of paper for accessories. I feel like I'm opening some toys for my daughter. She's always got some kind of paper or cardboard accessories with her stuff. So these are cool because they appear, I don't know if they're going to have any significance with the new movie, but these do appear to be the cards that he used in the original Ghostbusters. So that's cool. Like little flashcards, if you remember. And he also gets his pack. And I just had not put it together yet. It comes in separate pieces, like here. I'm just gonna fasten this here. Just pops in there. Yep, this takes a second. And obviously, I mean, if you have the time, anytime you use a hairdryer, it's gonna help. And here we have that. So that's cool. And then we also get this very cool effect piece, which I like a lot for this. This goes on the end of that there. So props on that. This is a nice accessory here. And then we also get our Build-A-Statue piece. Yeah. The plastic looks cool. The color, like the translucent, the purple. I dig that. But let's go ahead and put together what we have so far. Like, this is... What am I messing with here? Is this a McDonald's toy? Is this a Happy Meal toy here? Because it feels like it. It really does, and guess what? Let's wrap it up, because I gotta wrap up this review. And I am pretty disappointed. Here's what we've got so far. And got movement there. It does that. This is like, I mean, you get more out of McFarlane now. You got more out of McFarlane back in the day. McFarlane is kicking butt this year. Them and NECA both are just ruling the action figure land, in my opinion. Oh, let's see here. I'm not even going to put his accessories on him. I'm happy to have old Bill here, and I'm going to have fun with this figure. These figures are fun. I'm going to have fun with them. But I'll tell you what. I gotta give you some real talk here. These guys, and I was going to do, like, it's not even worth doing comparisons or anything like that. It's very frustrating. These guys are $22.99 each. They raised the price. And I do understand why we are getting that, like, because of everything happening with the costs going up for the materials and shipping and everything like that. I totally get it. But you know what? Give us more, because we're getting more from McFarlane Toys. We're getting a lot more. Have any of you picked up that Violator yet? That Violator was $49.99. And that Happy and Iron Man Mark 21 2-pack was $52.99. The weight difference alone, like, oh my god, like, so much more plastic from McFarlane Toys. I'm telling you, people, this is a huge, huge, huge disappointment. I really feel bad for the franchise, and I feel bad for the movie. I'm really excited for this movie, and I was really excited to see these figures. And you know, I'm happy to have them. And you know, there's some cute things happening here. I love, like, the little Stay Puft dude. And these ones here. A couple things I like. But you know what? You're including, and granted, they are cool accessories to include. I love the thought behind it. But it's paper. You're giving us paper. You're giving us less plastic and raising the price. I can't be the only person who sees this as pretty shitty and is not happy with it. Like, I can't be the only person, right? Very disappointing. I didn't mean for this video to turn into a rant. I was really excited to find these figures this morning on the way to work, and I'm gonna have some fun with them, you know? But for $22.99, like, I think $19.99 is too expensive. Like, man, Hasbro. Man, what the heck? But anyways, as a rating, I'm gonna go with, it's a 5 out of 10, guys. 5 out of 10. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you guys are all having a fantastic day. And please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and leave me a comment. Let's chat. And until next time, take good care.